All right, everyone. Apologies for the somewhat late start. We had some difficulties going in. However, we will be beginning the broadcast. This is going to be the state championship for Mosef Varsity Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Unfortunately, for the first of the day, we weren't able to catch the first game due to the aforementioned difficulties. We have Swerzy playing under the tag Espada versus QuitPat. Swerzy, using the character Steve, did take the first game against QuitPat Lucas, going into game 2. Gonna see if he's gonna be able to continue this, or QuitPat's gonna be able to make a bit of a comeback and put him on the back foot. Now, these characters are going to be an interesting matchup to watch. Both of them generally don't want to engage with the opponent too much. However, the way they do it is very different. Lucas is a character who relies on projectile pressure. He has, we'll probably see it up close here, PK Fire. It is a projectile which does some knockback, does good damage, and just generally keeps the opponent off of you. PK Freeze, which is useful in edge guarding once the opponent launched off stage and has some niche ledge setups. And PK Thunder, which also has some niche edge guards, but is generally restricted to a recovery tool. Now, Lucas can make very good use of those. We already see PK Freeze coming out here. May have been a misinput trying to get a PK Fire. Steve, on the other hand, he generally wants to prevent the opponent from approaching, and generally keep the opponent away because of his limited resources. Because here in the bottom left, he has resources, and he wants to get the opponent, essentially force them to play his game, because he can threaten with mining those resources. Steve, with resources, and is an extremely dangerous character, as you can see here. When he gets diamonds, his entire moveset can get powered up by them, and that makes him deal insane amounts of damage and knockback, giving him incredibly early kill potential for how fast his moves are. And this can force the opponent to approach Steve recklessly to prevent him from getting resources, which simply puts them back into the vortex, because Steve has very, very good up-close options with things like jab, things like dash attack, and some extremely powerful smash attacks. As I said, not completely fault against far range, as we can see here, using the minecart. That does require some iron, however, as we can see here from the indicator in the bottom left, Swerzy does have plenty of iron. That is one of the most infamous moves in Ultimate, is both a hitbox and a command grab at the same time, depending on when it hits, which means that you either have to shield it or just generally avoid it, which can just further play into Steve's general game plan of dictating how the opponent moves and how they approach. So we can also do that with blocks, threatening behind them to mine the resources and forward smashing through them. Lucas does have some unique counterplay to it, mainly through that PK Freeze. However, it's pretty easily countered and is generally not a foolproof option. Also, good ledge traps thanks to the down special TNT. It requires some redstone to use, which is not actually indicated on the resource bar. However, it's still a very, very good option when available. Steve, using the minecart, has the diamond tool set. QuitPat already on his last stock finally manages to get Swerzy's very first. Swerzy has gold on deck. This is a unique resource. Most resources being stone, wood, iron, diamond, they simply increase the damage on Steve's attacks. Gold, however, improves the frame data on them, so while it may not be as powerful as some of the others in terms of raw damage output, it can give him some unique combos and generally makes his neutral far better. Gets caught up by the PK Freeze, he tries to go back to ledge, predicts the down smash, rolls past him, forward smashes him off stage. Steve's ledge trapping can be very, very scary. Tries using the TNT, however, it doesn't work out, hits with the minecart, finds a follow-up forward smash, has to craft up iron tools, because as you can see here, Steve does have the potential to run out of resources. You can see here, Swerzy needing to mine a bit behind those blocks, trying to replenish on his supply, however, may not necessarily need to do that all too much. QuitPat is in a very bad position right now. Single good forward smash, all it's going to take, he has diamonds. May save them for a final stock situation, potentially. If that kills, it just barely doesn't. If Steve does not immediately die, there's a good chance he's going to be able to make it back to the stage. Steve's recovery is one of the best in the game. He has so many different ways to mix it up, and he has so many options out of it. It goes just so far that it can be very, very difficult to punish. However, Swerzy needs to get these resources if he wants to have any chance of this. Steve lives or dies depending on the resources he has available. Oh, the PK Thunder, what did he do? Just barely missed the punish because the durability on his sword has now run out. We'll find it goes for a down smash. That moves at a very mean angle. However, as we can see here, it's somewhat lacking in the safety department. It looks like QuitPat predicted another rollback, which he's been using to avoid the down smashes. However, Swerzy's going to get diamonds. Now, while he may not have a lot of resources, finds some time, goes for the ledge trap, using the down tilt to prevent him from getting back on stage. Makes a neutral get up, just barely mistimed the back air. Gets a dash attack. Quick Pat. Swerzy isn't able to finish this out. Quick Pat may be able to see a comeback here. He does have almost full rage. Rage is a comeback factor in this game, which increases knockback depending on how high your damage is, up to a maximum of 10%. So he could potentially deal a lot of knockback here. Swerzy needs to finish this off. Can't let Quick Pat get in a swing of momentum. He's at 61%. Oh, the whiff forward smash doesn't see a punish. That could have potentially been it. Minecart hits him. Swerzy doing a bit better on the resource front now. Uses a lot of it for the TNT. Gets Diamond once again, replenishes durability. Quick Pat using the threat of that. The PSI Magnet is a move which will absorb certain projectiles and actually heal Lucas, so he is going to lose a bit of his percent, making him a bit more survivable. However, he's still at very high percent. Almost any move can kill right now. Barely avoids that, and the forward air off stage is going to take it. Swerzy, after almost losing the lead in game 2, comes back with a clean 2-0. Alright, and it looks like the second set's about to begin. We're going to have Swerzy versus Luma. Now this is going to be interesting. Luma actually defeated, if you remember from yesterday's stream, Orb of Darkness, who is the same player who eliminated Swerzy in the previous tournament. So Swerzy is potentially in trouble here if Luma was able to beat Orb of Darkness after he himself lost to them. Well, we'll see what happens next. Alright, it looks like it's about to begin. Swerzy once again going to be going Steve, and Luma going Rob. Relatively uncommon character in most Fs so far. This is one of the best characters in the game for a variety of reasons. Mainly that Rob has incredibly good normal attacks. He has two very, very useful projectiles, some of the best edge guarding in the game thanks to side special, one of the best recoveries in the game, and generally some of the best frame data. Swery's going to have to play this one a lot more passively. However, as may be obvious, Rob does have one major weakness, and that's going to be the size of his hurt box. Rob is a very large character, meaning that if Swerzy hit him a single time, he could potentially deal a huge amount of damage. We can see here immediately going to be going, and Swerzy accidentally SDs, elytrating the wrong direction. This is a massive swing in momentum. This could potentially have decided the set right here, then and there. Swerzy needs to make a comeback here. Now one stock down. And again, he only has to hit Rob a single time. Rob has a massive hurt box, which means he is very, very easy to combo. Swerzy almost SDs a second time, however, just barely is able to make it back to stage. Minecart's around the laser, hits with the up air, avoids it, nicks him with the forward smash, gets stone tools now. He needs to sit back and get his resources if he wants to have any chance at this. Against zoners like this, he has to play patiently. He can't just rush them down. He will run out of resources, and at that point, the game is basically over. Tries forward smashing through the blocks, however, doesn't get it. Oh, it looks like he accidentally misinputs. And Swerzy SDs again, uncharacteristically. That is the second time so far in the entire history of MoSEP that Swerzy has SD'd, and both of them have been the same match. Finally connects a back air, however, he now has a 2-stock deficit. Swerzy has to play this next thing extremely carefully. Minecart through the blocks, he gets an opening. That's a huge amount of damage on the table. Doesn't have diamonds yet, though. Once he gets diamonds, he's going to be a lot more even in the fight. Minecart barely gets avoided. It's tapped by the gyro. That's one of Rob's best projectiles, and that's why the insane combo ability. Swerzy with 2 SDs loses game 1 to Luma's Rob. That was a huge... Those were huge mistakes on Swerzy's part. That could be very, very bad. As we can see there, Swerzy really struggled with getting back to stage. I think the lag may have gotten him, or maybe he just simply, the nerves of fighting against a Rob got to him, because Rob is a very stressful character to face off against, primarily due to the fact that once you get through all of his walls of zoning, due to his good projectiles, he has some of the best up-close tools in the game. We didn't see it a lot that set, but Rob's down tilt is arguably the single best down tilt in the game. It's incredibly fast, has a huge hitbox, and combos into a ton of stuff. It only has 20 overall frames, which means that you can do 3 of them in 1 second. That is extremely fast, even for a fast-paced game like Smash Ultimate, which means that Rob can pressure you, put out more hitboxes, and generally get more opportunities to push advantage than most other characters are capable of. Steve might be able to catch up with him in terms of raw frame data, especially with things like jab. However, the reward he gets off those moves aren't generally as good as the reward Rob gets off of them, so he's going to have to play this more patiently. Those 2 SDs, just what else is there to say? That was really, really bad for Swerzy. I think the nerves might have gotten to him in those cases. Steve would have been fully capable of recovering. In the first instance, he was simply facing the wrong direction. In the second instance, he just did it a bit too late. Either should have placed block, should have tried using side B or placing down TNT or something to make that back, but with basically giving Luma 2 free stocks, that could have potentially sealed Swerzy's fate going into loser's bracket. Going into game 2, let's hope he can turn this around. For what it's worth, Swerzy almost took 2 stocks despite losing 2 stocks of his own. So if he's able to avoid SDing like he did in game 1 against Luma, he might be able to claw his way back. These players appear to be rather even, with maybe Swerzy having a slight advantage, discounting those 2 SDs. So we'll just see what happens. Now, as for stages that we could potentially see going into the next one, against a zoner like Rob, I'd imagine Swerzy's probably want to go for larger stages. In most matchups, you'll probably see the opposite. More close-range characters will typically take zoners to small stages because it gives them less room to run away. Swerzy, on the other hand, Steve is a character who, because of how his mining works, he likes having a lot of space. And even zoners aren't going to be trying to keep you at arm's distance for the entire game. Depending on what it is you're doing, they're going to want to approach, especially one like Rob with such a multifaceted toolset. Because of that, a large stage could potentially be better for him because it's going to give him more room to mine, more room to gather resources, and generally just more room to work with to do what Steve does best, to force his opponent to approach him at the threat of him getting diamonds and all of a sudden becoming the scariest character in the entire game. And that is something to keep in mind. If Swerzy's able to get a good, clean hit on Luma, he can deal some massive damage. As I said in the set itself, Rob is incredibly easy to combo as one of the largest hurt boxes in the game, and his weight is just right to where he's not so heavy that he is not susceptible to early kills, but he's heavy enough to where comboing him, even disregarding his gigantic hurt box, is going to be easier than on more lightweight characters who get much further away. Here we can see here that large stage mentality going to town and city. This is one of Swerzy's better stages. I don't know if he's ever lost a game on here. I may be mistaken on that, but he generally does very, very well because of the room that this affords him. As we can see here, that combo game coming out from Steve, even with the only wooden tools, which are the weakest tools that he has available in terms of damage, Swerzy is going to get a pretty good conversion over there. A single hit leading to 43% extended conversion. However, Rob has combos of his own, as we can see here. Swerzy just managing to break them. Both players are basically dead even. Swerzy tries crafting tools, but he doesn't have the materials for it. He's caught by the gyro, and carts through it, hits it away. That move has an almost active hurt box, and like moves like Diddy Kong's banana and Peach's turnip, it's going to have the properties of an item, meaning it can be thrown. However, Luma finds a clean conversion into Rob's side special arm rotor. That is one of the scariest moves to get hit by. It has a ton of knockback and also doubles as a projectile reflector. Swerzy's going to have to play around that off stage if he wants to have a chance at this one. Getting opportunity to mine resources and finds the anti-air up smash. Not enough to kill. Crafts iron tools. He's going to have a lot more kill power behind him now. Here you see arms laser. That's another one of his better tools. Goes for an arm rotor, however, is going to miss it and gets edge guarded by the back air. Swerzy making it back to stage with a 50% deficit. He could make that up in a single conversion. Cards back to stage, however, gets caught out by the nair. Gets caught out by a second nair. Looks like he goes for an arm rotor there, however, Luma hesitates, seeing that Swerzy predicted it. Tries arm rotoring there. Might have been a misinput. However, gets caught. This is going to be a lot of damage. Swerzy forward smash finishes off the conversion with a 61%. Almost made it back. Needs to mine resources. Gets caught out by the back air though and gets hit by the laser. Swerzy now on what could potentially be his final stock of his winner's run before he gets plunged down into losers. Has a shield punish. Hits the back air. He has iron once again. Has good tools to work with. Shields through it. Shields through the laser. Finds a micro on the shield. Doesn't get any punish on it though. Up smash. Just barely avoids it. Swerzy needs to finish this off. He's going for a lot more smash attacks. He's calming down, taking the opportunity to mine. Oh, gets caught by it. Avoids the item combo just barely. Luma messing it up. That could potentially be big. He has a second lease on life. What is Swerzy going to do with it? Tries going for an edge guard, tries going for an anvil, gets caught out by the gyro, shields the laser, misses the forward air. The players return to neutral. Swerzy trying to get more time to gather resources. He has diamonds on deck. He is at a very low percent. He could potentially, yep, he pops the diamonds, and the latter hit frames of the back air are going to be enough. Luma in disbelief, staying at the respawn plat, letting Swerzy gain more and more resources. Oh, finds the punish on the dash attack, hits the minecart, hits the back air. Once again, the back air misses. Oh, gets caught by the inner. That could be very bad. He has to avoid that. That move is very easy to combo into his arm rotor, which is, as mentioned, one of the scariest moves to get hit by. Gets hit by the latter frames of back air. Uses the minecart to cover his approach. Doesn't find a punish on the down air, despite that being a very punishable move. There's potentially getting to whiffs the forward smash. That's a bad air dodge. Gets caught by the berry. The up air is going to finish it. Swerzy losing the second set in a narrow 2-0. The first game was bad, but that second game was almost a takedown. Swerzy drops down to losers. All right. We will be waiting on Swerzy's next opponent for a minute, whilst they finish up their set. So we will get back to you shortly. Alright, apologies for the long wait, but we are back for the for Swerzy's first set in his loser's run. He's going to be facing off against Azzy He's going to be playing Diddy Kong. Now this is a more runnaway focused character. He generally wants to play neutral against you, and he does this with some good normals and one of the best special moves in the game. You can see her there immediately, Banana. That will automatically cause the opponent to do that, to trip immediately. And that is extremely powerful. However, it can be used by the opponent. Essentially what that does is open the opponent up for a free conversion. As you can see there, Diddy Kong's combo game is significantly helped by it. There was actually a old patch where he had an infinite using Banana. However, that has since been patched out, so he's going to have to focus on playing it a bit more conventionally. However, Swerzy has his own combo game, as you can see there, just taking across the stage with jabs, not able to really get too much off of it. However, using his own, Azzy own Banana against him to get a bit of percent on, focusing on mining. It's maybe interesting. Azzy could potentially use Banana to force Swerzy to approach him, because that allows him to bypass a lot of things that Swerzy would potentially do that he normally uses to force approaches because of how non-committal throwing Banana is. The main thing about Steve is that he forces you to commit using things like blocks and using mining, because when you attack, you are obviously locked into the duration of that attack. Banana throw is so fast and gives so much reward that he could potentially use that to just bypass that one advantage of Steve. It's like he tried to pick it up and it does work, forcing Azzy to trip, letting him to get off back to stage. However, Azzy still has a pretty large percent lead. Going into this, he's probably going to be looking for a kill, trying to get Swerzy off stage. However, Steve's recovery is just too versatile for him to be able to get a consistent edge guard going. Forced to meet him at the ledge, which could potentially lead to his own doom, as now the situations are reversed. Swerzy has Banana in hand, crafts up some stone tools. Banana's now disappeared. He can, Azzy can now stun it once again, so we can see there. Plays down a block, gets a conversion off of it, fails the combo from the down tilt into the forward air. He needs to finish off Swerzy before he wants to get a solid swing of momentum here. The rage that Swerzy now has access to combines very, very well with Diamond. It looks like he's probably going to be saving that for the second stock, though, to get a bit of a lead. Swerzy's able to get the percent lead, however, he's not going to be able to find it as Swerzy loses his first stock. Immediately crafts up Diamond using the respawn invincibility. Now significantly more scary character. Potentially see a very, very swift end to Azzy first stock. Probably going to be using the Banana as a confirm tool. Yep, almost finds it. However, misses the forward smash. Picks up the Banana right as about to despawn. Doesn't get the combo into it, though. He's looking for a kill here. Azzy playing around it. Swerzy responding by trying to get more money. However, the side special monkey flip, that is going to be a unique special where he flings forward, and the opponent either has a command grab if you don't press anything, or he can choose to do a kick. And as we can see here, it does go through blocks, and potentially use that to break through. Swerzy trying to play neutral against one of the best neutral characters in the game. This could potentially be a problem. Swerzy nicks him with the minecart, has Banana in hand, uses the anvil on a landing. Not able to get a lot of materials. He mainly has stone here. Swerzy is out of iron. Minecart and down air and advanced down throw are no longer going to be an option. He's going to have to rely on his fundamentals or find an opportunity to mine, which he may not get. Just barely misses the forward smash. Not able to get a solid conversion going. Has trouble actually hitting him in the first place. That forward smash is going to be massive, though. Use the Banana, use it in the air instead. However, Sword has now run out of durability. This could potentially be a problem. He needs to craft up new tools and fast, but he doesn't get the chance. Crafts up stone on the ledge. However, that's going to be a problem, as that's going to open him up to a kill confirm combo from Azzy Swerzy now on his last stock of his first game in losers. This could be the beginning of the end. However, Steve definitely had the opportunity to make this back. He just deals so much damage in his punishes and kill combos. Gets caught by the aforementioned command grab of Monkey Flip. Azzy trying to dash attack through it. Anti-air whiffs because he doesn't go above, instead choosing to go from the block from the side. Great punishes with the forward smash, however, doesn't get a lot off of it because it is only wood. This is the weakest material type. Playing neutral, gets caught mining, gets clipped by the up air, not able to finish off Azzy second stock. Finally finds a forward smash, not enough to kill though. Chooses to go for iron. Fails to find anything. Finds a slight punish on that, however, is not able to get anything major off of it. Once again, whipping forward smash in neutral, is just trying to find a kill desperately here. Trying to get some semblance of a lead back. Air dodge is off stage, however, does make it back. Steve's recovery is one of the best in the game for a reason. He's looking very, very low on resources here. Swerzy needs to find an opportunity to mine. He has nothing. The only resources he has currently is gold. This could be very, very, very bad. Swerzy needs to make this back. Only avoids it. Kind of shield. Gets a few of it, however, the area of effect hitbox, the collateral on Diddy's up special rocket barrels is going to be enough. That explosion deals a lot of knockback, and it's going to be enough to remove Swerzy's last stock and his first game in losers bracket. Swerzy's has a lot of pressure on him right now. This could potentially be tournament point for him. If Azzy Boy wins this, because they're in losers bracket, Swerzy could get knocked out of the tournament. This would be a huge upset for Four of Sage's #1 player, and what was by the end of pools the #1 ranked player in the region. See how this goes. Swerzy, his biggest problem in that first game was finding resources. This has been seen time and again, most evidently in his losers run in the regional tournaments that happened in yesterday's stream. Swerzy, against more rushdown heavy opponents, simply is not able to find enough opportunities to mine. And that has a cascading effect on the entirety of Steve's game plan, because when Steve doesn't have enough materials to mine, he doesn't have enough materials to place blocks, which is a key part of his neutral. Gives him a ton of stage control options. It also lets him mine more easily. He loses the ability to craft tools, which once again is a necessity because they make his moves actually function properly, and in order to mine quickly you need certain tools depending on the terrain type. And it also makes his neutral options worse. He loses access to minecart, he loses access to strong down air, he loses a ton of options without enough resources, and all those resources themselves help him get more options themselves help him get more resources to mine. If Steve ever runs out of resource, runs out of durability, he may as well have thrown the game. He's going to be in a massive state. However, this is going to be interesting. Instead of going Steve for what could be the final match of the tournament, Swerzy is going to be going Villager. This has been Swerzy's main for the majority of Smash Ultimate's lifespan, a significantly less resource-dependent character. This is a zoner pure and simple. Has an incredibly good recovery, anti-zoning options in the form of pockets we can see here, which he can use to absorb projectiles, some very good up-close options in the form of neutral air, and projectiles on a couple of his aerials. You can see here neutral air coming out. He also has good zoning side special in the Void Rocket. He has a tree that he can plant, which can then be cut down to give him both an extremely powerful axe and also an incredibly powerful tree hitbox. It also has collision on it. You can already see him doing a bit better for himself, playing neutral a lot more effectively against Diddy Kong. Combos him into the Void Rocket, using the forward air to space him out. Once again, summoning the Void Rocket. However, Azzy Boy is going to be going past it. Villager, not a very easy to edgeguard character. Azzy Boy is probably going to have to settle for using banana pressure at ledge, and once again, he can use the dash attack. He now has banana pocketed. This could potentially be massive. Pocket essentially allows him to take a projectile and use it whenever he wants by pulling it out. So this gives him a ton of momentum to work with. Hits him with a down air. That turnip pull is actually somewhat random. His up air and down air both summon a random amount of turnips, and depending on how many come out, they will deal more and more damage the more turnips there are. As we can see here, he plants the tree. The tree is set, which means that now his down special is going to be an extremely powerful axe, and he gets hit by the explosion hitbox of Diddy's rocket barrels once again. When you get hit by Diddy, when you are Diddy Kong and get hit while using up special, the rocket barrels have a chance to fly off of you, and they will go in random directions. However, in Swerzy's case, that was the worst possible angle they could have gone at. Finds a grab, fourth throw, does barely any knockback. He needs to find a kill here. Tries using the bowling ball forward smash. Accidentally uses that. Oh, he's launched off stage now. He doesn't have a lot of recovery on his balloon, so he's still relatively safe. However, he needs to finish off the stock. Azzy is currently at 108%. Finds an air, not enough to kill. Tries load rocketing off stage. Tries running at the back air. Uses the forward air, and it's finally going to be enough. Getting Azzy down to a second stock to match his own. That rocket barrel explosion was incredibly unfortunate. Grabs through the tree. Tries going for another grab, but he barely misses it. Tries going for a falling up air, but doesn't manage to land it. His forward tilt uses Lloyd Rocket to dictate his positioning. Doesn't try punishing the down tilt on shield. That's incredibly safe. Come out off stage. Once again, very hard to edge guard due to how malleable his recovery is. Uses Lloyd Rocket. Monkey flips over it. Azzy now has Swerzy off stage yet again. The foot ledge trap actually manages it. Forward tilts him back off stage. If he can just repeat this cycle over and over again, Swerzy's not going to be able to get back advantage. Finally finds a forward air though. Plays it back to neutral. However, Swerzy's once again, this time brought to the other ledge, narrowly avoiding the peanuts. And he finds a back air. Azzy potentially has Swerzy on not only match point, but Swerzy's tournament point. If he loses this game, he will get dropped out of the tournament. Looks like he either pocketed a peanut or banana. It's hard to tell from the HUD. Lloyd Rocket's going to intercept the dash attack. He's going to catch it. Once again, the Lloyd Rocket gets beat out by the down tilt. However, because it's a projectile, Swerzy's still going to get a bit of frame advantage there. The opportunity catches him with the dash attack, using a lot of forward air zone. Set the sapling up, and there it's going to hit. When the tree grows, it has a massively powerful hitbox, and it's going to be enough to take Azzy second stock. Swerzy is down on stage. And an air disadvantage. The tree withers away. He no longer has access to the powerful axe. However, he now has access to plant tree again. Swerzy's had trouble getting a hold of advantage so far and maintaining it. However, he still managed to bring it back. Almost. However, that forward smash is going to be it. Unfortunately, in his first match of losers on the losers bracket, Azzy beats out Swerzy, knocking him out of the tournament. And on that note, because Swerzy was the only Fordo Sage player present in the state championship, that is going to have to be the end of our stream. Thank you everyone so much for watching, and depending on how Grape performs today in the secondary stream that doesn't have any commentary, we might see him in the JV regionals.